So what's up everybody? This was a request to me in the comments and I wasn't gonna do it, but because I did Asa's father's video, I had to do this. This video will be about who Noelle's father's possibly going to be, his origins, and why is he no longer around. So let's get into this. First of all, if you like anime, manga reviews, discussions, spoilers, and theories, definitely hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, like, comment. I read the comments. My channel got taken down by false copyrights from 𝚬𝚙𝚎𝚛. A like, comment, and subscribe would be highly appreciated. Let's get back to 5,000. Watch out for the Patreon and the Discord. Also, I have another channel that focuses mainly on One Piece. So if you want to watch One Piece content from me, definitely check out that channel. So this is actually an interesting topic. There's not much on who Noelle's father is. However, just basically looking at who Noelle's mother is, you can kind of speculate who Noelle's father is. So one thing for sure that we know, he's most likely going to be a human. Is he going to be a noble, royal, commoner, or peasant? That's left up for discussion. However, it's clear that Noelle's father had water magic because Noelle's mother, 𝚬𝚙𝚎, she had mercury magic. Mercury magic seems to be something that comes from the Silva family, and then water magic seems to be something that comes most likely from Noelle's father's family line. But I think I might have found a couple of clues as to what type of person Noelle's father was. Bear with me. So for what we know, the resources in the world, water is basically one of the most common things in the world. I think it's like 70% of the world is covered by the ocean, which is water, and then only 30% is land. So water is basically the most common thing in the world, but it's not of low value because eventually we're going to start having conflicts because of fresh water. So water is a resource that is valuable but common. Mercury is actually a lot less common. It's not extremely rare, but I think the magic types might be a clue as to the type of class Noelle's father might have been. I think Noelle's father possibly would have been a commoner, and obviously Noelle's family is royalty. For those who don't know, in Roman times there would have been emperors use mercury as a source of like showing off their wealth because it's like liquid metal, is very exotic at that time. So it makes sense that 𝚬𝚙𝚎, who comes from a royal family, the Silva family, would have mercury magic because I think 𝚬𝚬𝚎 married a commoner based on the magic types. Obviously they're compatible because technically they're both somewhat of a liquid, so there is commonality between them. However, Noelle's father, just going with the magic, water is valuable but is extremely common. So I don't see Noelle's father being a peasant, but I can see him being a commoner. And the reason why we most likely don't see Noelle's father in the story is because the Silva family did not accept 𝚬𝚎𝚎 to marry a commoner. They probably didn't like it. Eventually they had to warm up to the idea because 𝚬𝚎𝚎 was very serious about the commoner. So you know, families, they're not gonna like it, but at the end of the day, a lot of times they're just gonna have to accept it. 𝚬𝚎𝚎 is royal, so not to stir up drama, they most likely have to support the marriage regardless. We've seen in real life royals getting married to commoners, but and then either the family rejects them, they kind of shun them, or they flat out revoke the royalty rights. Obviously, from what we've seen, Noelle's family is still considered royals. They're not fallen royals or royals that have been shunned out, revoked of their status in the kingdom, but I think it's the case that when 𝚬𝚎𝚎 Silva died, I think the Silva family just kicked out Noelle's father because he was a commoner, and he was basically not only shunned but also taken away to the point where he had to get away and escape from the family, and the family didn't let the father, who is a commoner, see the royal children. So the Silva siblings grew up as royalty and most likely didn't know that their father was a commoner, and the Silva family just made up lies to make them look nicer. But at the end of the day, they most likely shunned Noelle's father away after 𝚬𝚎𝚎 died. You know, and it will fit the pattern how Noelle, who looks a lot like her mother, even has the Valkyrie dress, has fallen in love with a peasant. It will fit that mother-daughter kind of relationship that Noelle has with 𝚬𝚎𝚎. We see Noelle have the Valkyrie armor and the other siblings do not have it. So that connection with 𝚬𝚎𝚎 and Noelle, I could see Noelle following the footsteps of her mother. That might be a hint as to who Noelle's father is. He was most likely not a royal. He was most likely a commoner. He could have been a peasant, but I highly doubt it because it probably would have caused a lot of uproar. So I definitely think it would have just been a commoner versus a peasant, because peasants are the lowest of low, marrying royalty. That's going to cause some buzz, but a commoner, not as much. They could most likely hide that, especially if Noelle's father's a commoner that was well accomplished. Kind of like what Asa's doing, but even though he's a peasant. With saying that, Noelle basically following the footsteps of her mother, falling in love with a peasant, being Magicula, using spirit dive, get the Valkyrie armor, that could be a hint as to who Noelle's father is. And the reason why he's most likely no longer around is for the pure fact that the family kicked him out. They banished him. Maybe the family might have killed him. Who knows? But I'm leaning more towards the father just doing self-deletion because of him losing the love of his life. Acier, he probably blamed himself a lot and being shunned and kicked out from the Silva family and having to see his kids grow from afar. That could lead to anybody wanting to self-deleting themselves, and that's probably what could have happened. However, I don't see Black Clover getting that dark. I mean, Black Clover is dark, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if it's going to have the elements of self-deletion yet. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but I don't think we have yet to see anybody do self-deletion. But Black Clover is constantly getting darker. I wouldn't be surprised if that element is thrown in the story as well. It's a possibility that Noelle's father is a commoner. Noelle and the siblings never got the father's last name because he was a commoner. I think it's the case. If you look at the Silva family, it basically has a lot of Latin roots. Acier is French. Noelle is also French as well, I believe. The Silva last name is actually Portuguese. It all comes from like Latin-based languages. And in the Roman Empire, Mercury, it was famous that certain emperors did value Mercury in the Roman Empire. So it makes me to believe that Acier, because she has Mercury magic, is the one that actually is the Silva family descendant. And she never took her lover or her husband's last name because her husband or lover was a commoner. Because Noelle has water magic, she might have had more of her father's side in her, which made it difficult for her at the beginning to actually control her magical power. And also because of being shunned and neglected as a kid, so Noelle's father might just be a commoner. Either way, that's all I had to say. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this theory. Who do you think Noelle's father is? Do you think Noelle's father is going to be another royal? Do you think he's going to be a commoner? If Noelle's father is still alive, why is he not in the series? Is it a possibility that he was shunned by the family? Do you think they blamed her death and her sickness on the father? Like if you liked the video, comment, subscribe, and I'm out of here.